Ladies and gentlemen, we are back again with another disturbing missing persons case. In fact, this is two missing people, twin sisters. Eliza and Henrietta Huszti had been missing for almost 2 weeks. I have to say, this one's extremely disturbing. What we're going to do is give ourselves a clearer insight into what's actually happened here. So let's check this out.
There is a mystery here in Aberdeen of two missing sisters. A case that's baffled detectives 1 week on. But what do we know? Eliza and Henrietta Huszti moved to Scotland from Hungary 6 years ago, and 1 week ago, in the middle of the night, they vanished into thin air here in the centre of Aberdeen, a heavily industrial area where many boats head out to the North Sea. They crossed this bridge around 2 o'clock in the morning and then headed down this path. Let's remember the freezing conditions. The tiny path with overgrown shrubs at the side would have been thick with ice, treacherous conditions. Now, those who know them say they are quiet, they're hard-working, and they're not prone to making impulsive decisions. So why did they end up in this part of town at 2 o'clock in the morning? This has been an operation that's centred on the land, sea and air. Detectives continuing to scour the banks here, going underwater and taking to the helicopter as well. But so far, they have not received any conclusive answers as to what happened. And today an update came from police saying there's nothing to suggest this is suspicious. Confirmation that the sisters had indicated they were going to end their tenancy at the flat that they had been renting for a number of years, and it was that landlord who raised the alarm. They also say that there is a strong theory that they entered the water and that their state of mind is being interrogated as part of this. Had they had any interaction with the authorities in the days, weeks and months leading up to their disappearance? No bank transactions either, and clearly has there been any activity on their phone? All this is forming part of this major investigation. We've also been hearing from the sisters' family back in Hungary. They are desperate for them to be found. Clearly, they say this is a worrying and upsetting time. Absolutely.
Based on what we just heard there, it doesn't make any sense for them just to up and leave. They were last seen walking alongside the River Dee in Aberdeen. Since then, they've vanished without a trace.
It's only a matter of hours. We think that, we know that the last sighting of them was in the early hours of the morning, and by lunchtime that day, we'd received a call from the landlord.
Just to be clear, does the landlord live?
So they went missing at 2 a.m. in the morning, and later on that day, they got the call from the landlord.
It seems unusual that a landlord would raise suspicions or questions about locations of tenants hours after they disappeared at 2 o'clock.
Bad, big bad.
Makes sense, does it?
No, what we do know is that in the days preceding, the sisters had indicated to the landlord that they intended to leave their tenancy, and the landlords carried out inquiries at the address, which has led them to be concerned about the whereabouts of the sisters, specifically due to some materials, personal possessions, etc., that had been left within the address.
Based on what we were told there, the landlord was told days leading up to their disappearance that they wanted to end the tenancy. One report says on the same day of their disappearance, they were seen at the same location earlier on that day. Was that a regular route for them? Did they usually take that route to go to a friend's house or go and meet someone, perhaps? Since then, the police have been scouring the waters. Unfortunately, they haven't found anything as of yet.
This is the last sighting we have of them. Police say it's likely they did come down this way. It would have been completely dark. There's no street lights at all. It would have been icy underfoot as well. On one side you have fencing, trees, an industrial estate over there, and on the other side we are right down by the banks of the water. And police have told us that it is one of their theories that somehow both sisters have ended up in this water. That's why they've had boats out on it, they've had divers in there as well. But as things stand, this search continues, and where these sisters are remains a mystery.
Absolutely, this is definitely a mystery, and nothing can be ruled out. Of course, scouring the water is so important. The freezing temperatures at this moment in time, especially up in Aberdeen, it must be freezing up there. Would they really both together walk into the water?
It's been more than 10 days since Henrietta and Eliza Huszti were last seen here in the Torry area of Aberdeen. Now, a major operation was launched to try and find the pair, with police divers searching along the River Dee here, along the coastline, and trawling through CCTV footage. And today, police did reveal that the women actually visited this very same area just 12 hours before they disappeared. They spent around 5 minutes along this footpath, not engaging with anyone else, before returning to their flat in the city centre.
They have gone there to have the discussion about walking into the water.
And they say they didn't leave the flat until the early hours of Tuesday morning, and they haven't been seen since.
They went to that same location 12 hours prior to being last seen at that location. Within that 12 hours, all they did was stay at home. They went back to the location. They went to the location with no clothes, no nothing. No evidence, no CCTV evidence to prove that they linked up with anyone. They ain't been seen with anyone else. It was just them two and them two alone. Of course, we do have mobile phones. I'm not too sure if the mobile phones have been traced. This one here is extremely questionable. We've got one more video to check out, so make sure you hit the like button and let's get into it.
The Huszti sisters, who are missing in Aberdeen, are reported to have made an earlier visit to the bridge where they were last seen hours before they disappeared, and CCTV footage of this has now been released. It was also revealed by Police Scotland that the women sent a text message to their landlady saying that they would not be returning to their flat. And now I can see why the landlady was concerned by that kind of message, because it is a weird and random message from nowhere to send your landlady to say we're not coming back to the flat with no notice, no warning or anything. And so for those who aren't aware of this case, the Huszti sisters, Eliza and Henrietta, they were last spotted in City's Market Street at the Victoria Bridge at around 2:12 a.m. on the 7th of January. The sisters are originally from Hungary and have been in Scotland for around 7 years. Now, we know that they were last seen crossing that bridge, and then they take a right turn onto the pathway that runs along the River Dee. And of course, this then sparked a major search for the sisters, and police have been scouring that river every day in a bid to try and see if they are in that river. In an update from Police Scotland, they said that the sisters were seen at the same bridge at around 2:50 p.m. on the 6th of January, and the sisters had black rucksacks with them, and this was around 12 hours obviously before they were last seen. The sisters were said not to have engaged with anyone. They then headed back. CCTV catches them making their way back through the city via Union Square shopping centre and then back to their flat on Charlotte Street. And then it's been said that they didn't leave their flat again, and I definitely think that will quash those rumours that they had perhaps been out drinking and partying with male friends. The text message that was sent on behalf of the sisters actually was sent from Henrietta's phone, and the really concerning thing here, other than the fact that they said that they weren't returning to the flat, is the fact that the phone was disconnected from the network that they use, and it hasn't been active since.
Whoa.
And obviously the landlady was concerned, and I can understand why. That now makes a lot of sense, because it's a very, we're not returning to the flat. It would be a very weird and unusual message to receive.
Of course, the police have no suspects, but right now I'll be looking at this landlady.
So the landlady then goes to the flat to, I guess, investigate and see what's been going on, and finds their belongings inside the property. So
the landlady turns up to the flat to investigate what's going on and walks into their flats. Is there no phone call made to the tenant? Is there no other form of contact being made to the tenant? The landlady just tells us that she just turns up to the address and walks in.
Police are urging anyone from that day on the 6th of January that may have seen the sisters on the bridge in and around that area to make contact with them with any information that you may have. Like I always say, that small bit of information could be the missing key, the missing piece that could help locate the sisters. What we do know is that the family of the sisters did not know anything about them planning on leaving the accommodation that they were in. The family thought everything was okay, although it's since transpired that the sister who is part of the triplets had kind of felt something may not be quite right. But overall, they said they came across happy and everything was normal. And the police are saying that
Did she say triplets?
there is no suspicions of any crimes that have happened here. So we will just continue to share the information on this case.
What has happened to Eliza and Henrietta Huszti? This one here is extremely disturbing, and I need to know exactly what you guys are thinking right about now. Leave all your comments down below. Make sure you hit the like button. Do subscribe to the channel if we are new. Turn your notification bells on so you don't miss out on future videos. I will try my best to keep you guys up to date with this one, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.